So are you busy but not moving your business forward? Well, today we are going to discuss 5 things you can do in your staging business every single day that are going to move you toward your goal. So if you're wearing that busy badge of honor, but you're actually not getting closer to the revenue you want to generate, something is going wrong, and it's likely the inputs that you're inputting into the business every day. And I see this often, people wearing that badge of busy and thinking that's what's going to grow their business. But actually, what they're not focusing on is that needle moving strategy, needle moving tasks within their business that need to be carried in and carried out every single day consistently. And I get it. I've also been there. I've also been in a place where things aren't moving forward and I'm not progressing the business. And it's likely a few things, right? You're mistaking motion for momentum. And so what I want to do is I want to break down what some of these words mean, and then we're going to go through and we're going to share what those 5 things every day in your staging business that you should be doing. So you're mistaking motion for momentum. Let's break down what these words mean. The word motion is the action or process of being moved. Being moved, but it doesn't say in what direction with motion. Think about that saying, I'm going through the motions of something. If you're going through the motions of something, you're just scraping by, you're just getting something done. Compared to the word momentum, we can mix them up. We can think that we're building momentum. Actually, we're just going through the motions. The definition for momentum is the impetus and driving force gained by the development of a process or course of events. Driving force gained by the development of a process. That is many tasks grouped together. That is consistency every day that starts to compound and actually push things forward. That's what we call momentum, and that's what we want to build. We only build momentum when we're in the game long enough to be doing the daily tasks day in and day out. What's the next thing? You're mistaking activity for productivity. So what's the definition of activity? Activity is the quality or state of being active. Some synonyms that I found were operative. You're active, but activity just means, once again, you're doing some things here and there. There's some activity going on. We look at the definition of productivity. This is the effectiveness of productive effort. Some words for this is efficiency, yield. So seeing a yield on what we're doing, which means a return. And also another word for productivity is fruitful. So you may be active, but you're not being proactive or productive with your time. And so guys, you're in the right place, because this is what I'm going to show you today of how we can actually move into that place of moving the needle and growing the business. And then finally, that busy badge of honor, you're likely mistaking busy for fruitful. Now, when I Googled what busy actually means, the definition is having a great deal to do, having a lot of things on your plate. Another word for it is occupied. And you might be busy, but are you fruitful? Because busy means you're in amongst it, you've still got it to do. When we look at fruitful, producing good or helpful results, high yielding, abundant, bounteous, right? So how do we want to move forward in our business? We want to build momentum. We want to be productive. We want to be efficient with that. And the results and how we will really live our lives will be fruitful, will be high yielding, abundant, bounteous, right? Are you with me? Well, we're going to dive into how do we become these things? How do we stop mistaking, the the motion, the activity, and the busy for becoming fruitful and moving the business forward. Now, this training is called the 5 daily, every single day, must do revenue drivers, right? This is 5 things you should do in your business and your staging business every single day. Note that I did not call this the training of how to reach your goals. And there's a reason for that, guys. You have got a goal in your mind of where you want to take your business. And I am all for goal setting. I do it. But here's the thing, you can't actually work out how you're going to achieve that goal. You can't know that the payout is coming. Yes, you want to work towards it. You can't control the output. Basically, I call your goals the output. So you input and ultimately there is an output. But you can't double down on an output. You can't, do everything for an output. You can't think it into existence. You can't control it, right? And I do not like to work on things I can't control because I have no control of the outcome of the output. What I can control in my business and what we're focusing on today is the input. That's the only thing in your business you can control, is how much am I going to put into this? How much work am I going to put into this? How dedicated am I going to be? How am I going to show up? And I really love that there's one part that we can control. I love it because I know that in most rooms, I will be the hardest working person in the room. I know I will give up my all. So I like that I can control that part. The input is in the daily actions that you take, guys. The input is planting seeds, right? It's planting lots of seeds every single day. The funny thing is, we cannot control how big the tree will grow, but we certainly know the more seeds that we plant, the more things will start to happen. I'm just off an interview with one of her clients, and she said, things are starting to take shape. People are messaging me online. This is working. But it's because she's done it daily for a certain period of time, 6 months to be precise. She's now getting people reach out to her. Now, she could get responses within 2 to 3 months or 2 to 3 weeks. We don't actually, we cannot know when things are 100% going to pay off. What we can know is, am I doing it daily? Am I doing this consistently? Am I taking consistent action and effort towards ultimately what I want to achieve? And there's one really incredible thing that I want to tell you, and that will hopefully give you a lot of comfort. That success that you want is literally a byproduct of the input that you do. It is impossible to input these 5 things into your business every single day and not to move your business forward. That is literally impossible, because success will become a byproduct of these 5 daily tasks that you implement in the business. It's just, if you do it well, there's no way that this will not work for you. So it's a byproduct of the input, right? Execute these inputs and the outputs will literally take care of themselves. And this is how, when I share my journey of how I originally wrote in my goal board that I wanted to achieve 30,000 in revenue a year, in that exact same year, I achieved $1 million in revenue. And I had no control over the output of that, but what I did control was the input. I took the consistent action. I showed up daily and I, done the work. I didn't give up. I didn't, drop off the face of the earth. I didn't say it's too hard. I showed up every single day, and that's why the output was so big. So executing the inputs and the outputs will take care of themselves. All work works, guys. I heard this on an amazing YouTube video with Myron Golden. He says, all work works. It's impossible to do work and for it not to work. And if it's not working yet, if it's not working for you, it's working on you. It's doing the work on you to become the person you have to then achieve what you want, right? So all work works, but there's more powerful inputs that we can focus on rather than those inputs that we're just busy with, right? So let's talk about what those 5 things are and then get to action and implement them. So I've written down 5 things I've got here in my document that I want to share with you. You can implement these inside your business daily. I hope you agree with me that you can control your inputs and you're going to input these into your business every single day. Now, input them Monday to Friday. If you really want a bigger output, input them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? You decide how big you want to go on this. So are you ready to hear what those are? Okay, so the first thing you're going to be implementing in your business every single day is I want you to write one sales message. What does that mean? A sales message is a way to position your service and to sell it to who you want to buy it, right? So, for example, a sales message could be a social media post. A sales message could be a short 20-second video that you're going to record. It could be a marketing email that you're going to send out to your email list. It could be a handwritten letter or a letter specifically to someone to sell them the service and talk about it. It is literally any way that you can communicate with your audience or someone you want to work with and sell what you do. Now, that does not mean this needs to be a sleazy sales message. It doesn't mean it needs to be overly overt of buy from me, but it does need to talk about your service in a way. So literally, I just was on a social media half an hour ago, and I wrote a sales message for my staging business because these are things that currently I'm in the habit of practicing these daily inside all of my businesses, right? And I wrote a sales message, and here it is. And I thought, how can I create a new angle on staging? I've been speaking about staging for literally a decade, and I can still come up with a new sales message pretty much every single day. I spoke about how staging really helps you when you're looking for angel investment, which is so true, right? But there's another angle to come at it from. So when you're in the habit of doing this every single day, over the space of a week, over the space of a month, over the space of a year, you will literally see yourself transform from who you are today to being an expert in the space. If you do this daily, your writing skills, how was I able to write a book in 5 days? I've written 2 now because I write sales messages daily. I know how to communicate to my audience and not because I've not got a degree. I'm not particularly gifted at English or languages or literature. I practiced. I've done it every single day. It is the only way to get good at something is doing it every single day, okay? So writing one sales message and publishing it to some form of place or sending it to someone. Now, that does not mean sending it to a friend or your mum. It means publishing it publicly for people to see. But when you write this, guys, your first one will be terrible. Your second one will be equally as bad. Perhaps your 15th one will be terrible. But every single day, it will get incrementally better. And that compounded over a year, you will be able to throw out sales messages as easy as it is to brush your teeth, right? It becomes a habit. So one sales message a day is absolutely key. Okay, does that make sense? Now, the second one is showing up online. Showing up online in one way or another. Now, you might think write a sales message and show up online sounds like the same thing, but it's different, right? You could write a sales message, and that could technically be your form of showing up online. But if you write a sales message that goes to an email list, that's not a public showing up on your socials. So I always ask when someone's saying, I can't get my client, I take a look at their social media profile and I see that they post once a week. How do you expect anyone to find you if you're not actively posting, guys? How would you have found me if I was not actively posting? She who's seen daily will be more successful as a byproduct than she who waits until she writes the perfect post, right? Share the sales message you've written or show up in some other way, a little snippet of your life, a little snippet of your workout, your morning routine, something that puts you in the mind of other people. My team have been on some coaching calls the last few days, and the amount of people that, talk to my team about me waking up early at 4 a.m. is insane. It comes up on pretty much every single call. That's because I'm showing up there daily. I'm walking the walk. I'm being in integrity. I say work hard and I do it, and I show that online. And whilst if I was growing my staging business, that's got nothing to do with it, but I'm still on people's minds. So showing up online isn't always showing up in the sense of I must go on and sell my product. No, it can also be that you're just on there sharing your life, sharing your routine, and being on someone's mind. We also call this your stickers when it comes to social media. What are you known for that's fun? I get sent images of margaritas. I get sent images of people waking up early because they're my stickers and they're what people remember me for, right? So showing up online once a day is a non-negotiable. It could be Instagram stories, it could be just a Facebook post, it could be an Instagram post, it could literally be any form of showing up. And even better, if you've got omnipresence and you're showing up on all of the platforms, right? So that's the second one, show up online daily, non-negotiable. Number 3 is all about reach out. This one is send 20 new connection requests each day. Now, that's an online connection request. That could be through any social media platform, or I've written another or you could send one direct mail reach out. What is direct mail? Direct mail is sending something physical in the post. So solely relying on people to find you guys is incredibly reactive, right? Now, we want to be proactive, not reactive. Proactive marketing, proactive selling is going out to find the people to sell to. Reactive is just waiting online, waiting in your office, waiting for people to find you. We don't do that. That is hope marketing. That's literally chuck spaghetti at the wall, see if it sticks, see if someone finds us. We're going to actively go out and find that person. Now, I want you to either connect with 20 people per day on whatever platform you choose, preferably Facebook or LinkedIn because you can add them, or you can send one direct mail each day, meaning you're going to think of one campaign, or if you want to send 7 in a week, do it all at once. And that could be letters, it could be packages, it could be a whole host of things that you could send to who you want to work with. When you move from a reactive marketing state to proactive, you will see transformation fast. This is probably one of the most active things you can do. One of the most proactive things you can do in your business is scoping out and prospecting who you want to work with. So to recap the first 3, we've got write one sales message, show up online, and then reach out. Now, don't tell me you can't reach out to 20 people online. It's a 10-minute exercise, right? Direct mail, you're probably going to have a higher percentage of response, but it is that more effort. But it depends, what input do you want to put in? Now, 4 is all about have one sales conversation. So remember, 1 was write a sales message. Now you're going to have one sales conversation minimum. This could be reaching out to a new contact and having that conversation on the phone or in person, following up a lead that has gone cold. Okay, so someone that inquired perhaps 3 months ago or 3 weeks ago, phoning them up, seeing where they're at, or phoning up previous clients saying, hey, have you got anything in the pipeline? I want to chat to you. Or it could be someone who's inquired that day, right? So you want to have one sales conversation a day. Again, this is all about getting reps in every single day, rep, rep, rep. 1 week's time, you've had 7 conversations. 2 weeks' time, 14 conversations. Next year, you've hopefully had 365 conversations. Conversations will start to flow. Opportunities will start to pop up. Now, this could be also a networking event. You could be, getting many sales conversations in place at a networking event because there's multiple people there, right? So it's the first thing you're doing daily. And then the final thing that you're going to do daily without fail, and I do this every single day at the weekend, and I usually do it multiple times a day, is you're going to sharpen your mind. Now, you need to stay at the top of your game if you want to be at the top. Sharpening your mind means that every single day, you're going to sharpen your mind by listening to an audiobook, reading, listening to podcasts, watching a YouTube video, watching one of the videos in a course that you've bought. You are going to study. Now, what that means, study, is I listen when I drive, I listen when I, do something in the house, I listen when I'm in the shower, I listen when I'm on my walk. I am always sharpening my mind. I'm always trying to get better. Now, with that, a lot of it goes in, but you take a lot more in when you sit down and you write notes. So what I'll do is, yes, I'll listen to all of that on the go, and it will be going into my subconscious. But also every single day, usually in the first 20 minutes that I wake up, I will choose one YouTube video. I will sit down with a notebook and I will write my notes from what that person has just said. And that's how you start to really get good at what you're doing. And by the way, you do number 5, which is sharpen your mind. Number 1 will become a whole lot easier. Number 1 is effortless when you're sharpening your mind every day, because when you consume, it's so much easier to create, right? When you consume, you need an outlet, right? It's like if you were to eat a lot of food, you need an outlet, right? You burn it off. Similar with consuming, sharpening your mind content. Now, of course, we've got the STAGERBOSS podcast. We have got the YouTube channel. That's the best place to start. It's relevant to your industry. It's relevant to the game that you are in. So every single day, watch a YouTube video. Every single day, listen to a podcast. And on top of that, cut out the music when you're driving, cut out the Netflix programs in the background, and always be listening to content that is sharpening your mind, moving your business forward. People that do these 5 things will be in business this time next year. And they will not just be in business, they will be in a thriving business in 2024. Guys, if you action this daily for a week, weekly for a month, monthly for a year, it's literally impossible not to grow your business. Remember, success is the byproduct of these inputs, okay? It's a byproduct. It's coming regardless, it's happening. But when you focus on revenue drivers, just by being busy, doing a little bit here, doing a little bit there, going through the motions, it will not be a byproduct. But when you have high level inputs, you will have super high level outputs, right? Plant the seeds, the tree will grow, and it could grow to be a huge, huge success. Or depending on the consistency, the quality, it might be a little success, right? But success is the byproducts. So guys, execute the inputs and let the outputs take care of themselves. Okay, guys, that is our 5 needle moving activities you can be doing every single day in your home staging business.